Dust fills the air. Explosions rumble the earth as people scream. Their screams may be unintelligible, but the feeling of dread and agony and fear permeate the air. This is the reality of child soldiers. Instead of playing with their friends outside, doing a nice game of hopscotch or jump rope, they are here on the battlefield, afraid for their lives, desperate for the way out, when, for most, the only way out is death. Compelled to become instruments of war, to kill and be killed, child soldiers are forced to give violent expression to the hatreds of adults. Olaru Otunu. Children are thought to be the most innocent creatures to walk the earth, yet for many years, for centuries, they have gone unprotected from the cruelty that is and surrounds this world. In 2002, a movement occurred, and from the movement came the Convention on the Rights of the Child. This meeting included countries from all over the world where nations agreed that children had the right to live freely as children, unburdened from the conflicts of the world. In this agreement, it was noted that children have the right to live, the right to express themselves as if they were adults, including freedom of religion and expression. But unlike adults, there are extra protections afforded to children, as not to induce cruelty to them and ruin their childhood, as child development was thought to be incredibly important during the Convention on the Rights of the Child. According to the 2023 UN Secretary report, children in 23 different countries are being recruited and used in armed combat. This is not a problem of the past, it is a problem that is ever growing. And to say that in the year 2024, there are still thousands of children forced to fight to the death, forced into conflicts that were not their own, that they did not create. The youngest known documented soldier was only 8 years old, though there are reports out there of children as young as 6 being used to trap adult soldiers. And this is heartbreaking. 170 states ratified the Convention of the Rights of Child. However, over 20 states that did ratify the original Rights of Child have not ratified an optional protocol that stated children under the age of 18 should not be put in armed combat or any combat. This protocol was optional, meaning even in the document where rights of children were laid out, there was not mention of forcing children into military recruitment. It was some countries seem to think it was a natural thing for children to be fighting these wars. This issue is more widespread than people think. And as such, as the years go on, we hear more and more from those most affected by child soldiers, the children themselves. We need to hear their stories. After all, there's movie after movie after books and memoirs and autobiographies of these children who were forced to go to war and yet somehow came out the other side with psychological trauma that they still have to heal from. And though it is often thought to be an issue for another nation, these child soldiers do not just exist in a far off place. They are in some of the most, what we think of as, developed countries, including Great Britain and the US. In 2024, in January, the British Army released an advertisement speaking about Fortnite, a popular gaming that is rated 12 and up, with many minor fans watching. The British Army talked about Operation Belong, where kids were taught to fight in Fortnite as if they are fighting for Britain, and thus people grew angry online. There was great discord, and the creators of Fortnite came back to tell the British Army that they breached Fortnite rules for implicating that Fortnite was supporting the British Army. This tactic of using a popular kids game shows the fact that well-developed nations search for younger and younger soldiers. They deny the fact that they are doing so, saying that the advertisement was just a fun video, denies the reality of the army wanting to show the army in such a light to encourage children, to sign up for the army. The U.S. is not blameless in this either. The United States has the United States Child Prevention Act, which was formed in 2008. Each year, the United States creates a list of countries that use child soldiers, and aid is supposed to be restricted to the countries to discourage the countries from using child soldiers. However, each year, the U.S. creates waivers so that these countries can still receive aid from the U.S. These are countries known to use child soldiers, yet the United States still funds these countries. As you can see on the list, most of the countries that are restricted have partial or full waivers, because though the U.S. can speak about wanting to end the reign of child soldiers, actions speak louder than words. We must move forward. Every year on February 12th is Red Hand Day. This is a day of awareness for all the children that get recruited to go to war and fight battles, and for all those children who lose their lives in these pursuits. The only way to prevent child soldiers is to prevent war. Now, this is an ambitious goal, but there are stepping stones that we can use to get there. One such stepping stone is criminalizing the recruitment of child soldiers worldwide. We cannot allow this affront to human rights to go forward. There are national awareness campaigns that are ready to spread the word and have been doing so for years, even prior to the rights of children being agreed upon. And for all you at home, you can donate to UNICEF for their Child Soldier Reintegration Program, in which children who had been forced to fight receive psychological and social care so that they can reclaim some of what is lost. You can help by donating now. Thank you.